Very good morning, all of you. Hope all are doing well. So, for today's Tech Talk, I will talk about test automation in DevOps. So, let's move to the agenda. So, here today I will initially start with an introduction to DevOps and then continuous testing and why automate testing in the DevOps lifecycle and automation in test automation in DevOps, tools for continuous testing and continuous integration, and lastly, the benefits of DevOps automation. So firstly, we will move to the introduction to DevOps. So what is DevOps? Simple answer for this question is it's a combination of development and operations. So it's a software development methodology that looks to integrate all the software development functions from development to operations within the same cycle. So this calls for a higher level of coordination with the various stakeholders in the software development process. So let's draw our attention to some of the best practices for effective DevOps. So companies which are looking at adopting DevOps should follow these best practices to have an effective DevOps process. So first one is active stakeholder participation. This is the fundamental guiding principle of DevOps. So DevOps can succeed only if both the developers and the operations and support staffs are truly committed to collaborating and using an integrated approach to achieve goals. The second one is automated testing. Automated regression testing is something agile teams adopt very often as it helps to fix problems right away and ship higher quality code. So this works well in DevOps too, as a dire need of operations staff is that the code ship should meet a certain quality standard. So the third one is integrated configuration management. In a DevOps environment, configuration management applies not only to the current solution being worked on, but also on the configuration issues between the solution and the rest of the organization infrastructure. So this helps operation teams to see the potential impact of a new release more clearly and which helps in making better decisions regarding when the release should be made. And the other one is integrated change management. With the integrated change management, operations and development teams work together to understand how the use of different technologies will impact the organization as a whole and also then work towards managing that. So the fifth one is continuous integration. With continuous integration, the code is tested and analyzed whenever updated code is checked into the version control system, and this provides immediate feedback on code defects and which allows developers to build a high quality solution with little risk. So the other one is integrated deployment planning. So the DevOps approach means operations engineers will be closely involved with the developers when it comes to planning the deployment of products as per an organizational deployment schedule. So the seventh one is continuous deployment. So with continuous deployment, when integration is successful in one sandbox, it is automatically promoted to the next sandbox, and integration begins there. So this can continues until it reaches the point where it requires human verification. So this usually occurs at the point of transition from dev to operations. So the eighth one is production support. So here with DevOps, not only do developers that means not only do developers work on new releases, but they also work on addressing critical problems with the solution that is already in production. The other one is application monitoring. This refers to the practice of monitoring and logging solutions real time once they are in production, and this gives us performance metrics that improve the reliability of the solution and prevent failures. So the last best practice is automated dashboards. So DevOps allows us to create automated dashboards for several key metrics. Normally all metrics cannot be automated, of course, but several key metrics can be seen real time using automated dashboards, and they provide critical business intelligence. So now let's see the DevOps lifecycle. So when we draw our attention to the DevOps lifecycle, it's a continuous process aiming for excellence. So from development to deployment, a software application gets tested and perfected. So in this DevOps lifecycle, there are various phases, as you can see, like continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous monitoring. So the main focus for today's session is continuous testing. So before moving to that phase, I will show you some points to be considered in DevOps testing strategy. So first point is normally the testing on an agile DevOps project is done by the whole team, including developers, testers, and operations people. So here the normally the unit testing or component testing is normally done by developers, and the acceptance testing is done by testers, developers, or operations staff, and API and GUI testing is done by testers. So the other point is that in the DevOps model, testing is done continuously, early, often, and even after applications are in production. So here comes the attention to the phase continuous testing. Yeah. So continuous testing in DevOps is a software testing type that involves testing the software at every stage of the software development lifecycle. So the goal of continuous testing is evaluating the quality of software at every step of the continuous delivery process by testing early and testing often. So the continuous testing process in DevOps involves stakeholders like developers, QAs, and operational staff. So continuous means undisrupted testing done on a continuous basis. So in a continuous DevOps process, a software change or a release candidate is continuously moving from development to testing to deployment. So the code is continuously developed, delivered, tested, and deployed. I will point out the best practices for continuous testing. So here, the first one is to automate as many tests as you can. So continuous testing means, as I previously mentioned, it's a testing early and often. So this is obviously a major challenge for the DevOps team if the applications in the pipeline are constantly being updated via continuous integration, and where the code is integrated into a shared repository on a constant basis. So best practice is to use test automation to eliminate much of the risk that comes with continuous integration, and to get quick feedback on application quality. So pairing continuous integration with automation enables teams to easily test every new code iteration, and also reduce the opportunity for team members to add errors. So we can use the test automation pyramid illustrated here as a strategy guide to planning our DevOps testing strategy. As shown in the illustration, the base or largest section of the pyramid is made up of unit tests. So here it will be the case of if developers in the organization are integrating code into a shared repository several times a day. So this involves running unit test, component test, and a variety of acceptance and integration tests on every check-in. So the lower portion of the pyramid is more automated and thus faster, while the top of the pyramid is slow and more manual. So the higher you go on the pyramid, the fewer the tests. In other words, teams should have many unit tests which are small and isolated, and not so many end-to-end exploratory tests, which are time-consuming as well as manual. So, so the other best practice is use pair testing on tests you don't automate. So knowledge transfer via pair testing is another best practice and one of the most efficient ways to train new members and maintain DevOps pipeline velocity. So here we use the assumption that the team has senior testers or developers who are willing to share their knowledge and time with new team members. Pair testing is similar to pair programming. So pair programming means which is an agile software development technique in which two programmers work together at one workstation. So in pair testing, team members work together at one keyboard to test the software application. One does the testing and the other analyzes or reviews the test results. This can be done between testers and developers or a business analyst or between two testers with both participants taking turns at driving the keyboard. So pair testing is useful in breaking down communication barriers between developers, QA testers and application operators. So let's see why automate testing in DevOps lifecycle. So DevOps and automation are two key components that help organizations streamline the development process. So this results in two significant changes: increasing the cross-department or inter-team collaboration, automating manual and repetitive tasks in the development process. So the combination of DevOps with automation leads to more efficient software development lifecycle. Also automation makes instant feedback loops possible so that code can move from development to build and further on the test with speed. And developers can be notified about any bugs or errors in code within days or even hours of them writing the code. The other thing is that automation also reduces the risk of error that typically occurs when a tester is tasked with highly repetitive work. So regression testing is an example of a type of testing that can and should be automated as it is highly critical and but also repetitive and time consuming. The other point is that automation also makes it possible to increase the scope of testing. Many applications today need to be tested against several environments on multiple devices and in multiple browsers. That is something that can be done in parallel with the right automation tool. So when tests are automated, it becomes possible to run tests more often at higher speed and low cost. And also it lowers the risk, thus enabling continuous testing. So testers can then spend their valuable time on exploratory testing, test designing, and other tasks that require their skill and critical thinking. So to understand the need for automation in DevOps, I will explain a scenario where testing is performed manually. So here a developer writes a piece of code for a product update. And then he submits the code into the code repository and continues working. That means he's now continuing working on a new piece of code. And meanwhile, the code is entered into the build system and it is ready to be tested. So a tester takes the code and runs it against a set of criteria to test its validity. Then the code fails the test. So at this point, weeks or even months have been passed, and when the tester sends the code back to the developer, he has already worked on lots of other code. So the developer must now spend time on figuring out what went wrong and fix it by writing new code and also send it forward to the tester once more. So the cycle time becomes long and inefficient, and also it costs high. So to avoid this scenario where testing becomes time consuming, error prone and costly, automation is introduced. So let's talk about test automation in DevOps. Okay. So firstly, we have to examine the scope of our project from an automation point of view. So here all deliverables, tasks and sprint must be well defined by the software team and including its time frames. So the deciding factor for automation testing case is to know which one to automate and which one not to automate. So basically you can't automate everything. So you should be lining up your priorities, and which will ultimately result in higher return on investment. So then we can pick a suitable test automation tool that meets the standards of our project. So we should have a major concern for selecting the right tool from a wide array of automation tools available in the market today. So for that, we have to consider several criteria, like understand the project needs thoroughly, and we have to check whether the tool will support the platform or technology on which the software or the app is built, and examine if the tool can execute cross-platform testing, and many more. So for continuous testing, automation testing tools like Selenium, TestNG, JUnit, and many more are used. So these tools allow QAs to test multiple code bases thoroughly in parallel to ensure that there are no flaws in the functionality. So in this case, Docker containers can be used for simulating test environment as well. So here I have taken an example that everyone can easily understand. So Selenium does the automation testing, and the reports are generated by TestNG. So this entire testing phase can be automated with the help of a continuous integration tool called Jenkins. So suppose you have written a Selenium code in Java to test your application. So now you can build this code using Ant or Maven. So once the code is built, it is tested for user acceptance testing. So this entire process can be automated using Jenkins. So let's talk about the continuous integration with Jenkins for automated test executions. So here, this is the process consists with 5 major steps for continuous integration with Jenkins for automated test execution. So the first step would be to create test cases with Selenium on Eclipse IDE. So here I have taken example. So you can use either NetBeans IDE or IntelliJ or Visual Studio, whatever IDE, and you can create test cases on any of them. So once you create test cases, you have to convert them into a testng.xml file. So here comes the second step. So the reason you are converting them into a testng.xml file is so that you can now execute multiple test cases at the same time, and also you can execute those XML files through Jenkins. Because you can't ask Jenkins to instantiate an instance of Eclipse and then run your program. So Jenkins does not work that way. So what Jenkins is gonna do is when you have the files, it's gonna execute those files with the help of command prompt. So that's why you have to create an XML file which is executable. So if you want to create an XML file which is executable, then you have to create a Windows batch file. So that's our third step. So batch file is a simple executable file which can have a set of commands that which you usually feed to your command prompt. And suppose there is a set of commands that you type in your command prompt to achieve a certain operation, then those set of commands can be as a list in your batch file. And when you just execute the batch file or double click on that batch file, those set of commands will be automatically executed in the command prompt. So that's the role of a Windows batch file. And when we have this XML file, which would have all the test cases, and when it has all the details of which test cases needs to be executed, you can straight away achieve test automation, and that test automation can be achieved with the help of Jenkins. So that's where we are going to step number 4. So now this is where Jenkins comes in the picture, and you can build Jenkins jobs by executing those batch files. And the best part about Jenkins and very act of continuous testing is step number 5. So uh, here we can schedule jobs to be updated at certain times during the day, and you can configure those email notifications whenever any test case passes or any test case fails. So actually you get email notifications only when your test case fails, right? But if once your test case fails, first time when your test case is back, when you are running that at that time you will get a notification saying that your test case without your build is again not successful. So basically, email notifications are used to let you know that your test case has failed and there's a major bug or major flaws in your code. So these are the 5 most important steps that are involved in achieving continuous integration with Jenkins for automated test execution. So, uh, so here you can see some of the most popular tools used for continuous testing and also continuous integration. So for continuous testing, I have mentioned here Selenium, JUnit, Appium, TestNG, Java, NUnit, Maven, Visual Studio, Eclipse, IntelliJ, SoapUI, Postman. And for continuous integration tools, I have mentioned here Jenkins, Bamboo, TeamCity, Test Complete, GitHub, CodeShip, Travis CI, like that. So apart from that, there are so many other continuous testing tools as well as continuous integration tools available in the market. So let's see what are the top benefits of DevOps test automation here. So here you can see the top 5 benefits of DevOps automation. So I will go one by one. So firstly, consistency. Automation is very helpful in identifying errors and behavioral issues in software applications. So in any high automated process or task, the end result is always consistent and predictable. Then when moved to the scalability, automated processes are much easier to scale than manual processes. So scale automation processes simply by creating additional processes to meet the increased requirements. So in manual environment, any scaling is severely constrained by availability of team members. However, in an automated environment, scaling is only constrained by the availability of underlying software and hardware, which is not an issue in cloud-based environments. So where resources are automatically scaled and depending on the workload. So great example of this is automatic scale in and out and up and down functions. So the other one is speed. So one of the most important factors in DevOps is that the ability to go through the life cycle stages quickly has a significant effect on deliverability of the project. So an automated process will be executed regardless of the time or availability of team members to manually trigger the task. So additionally, it's almost always fast when a process is automated with a standard template compared to running it manually. So the last but not least is the flexibility. So automation allows us to be flexible in terms of both the scope and functionality of the automated process. So most of the time, the only constraint of the functionality and scope is the configuration of the automation process, which can be changed easily to meet the requirements. So it is more flexible than training a team member to adapt to the changes in the process. Okay. These are the references that I have referred to gather information about test automation in DevOps. So if you are interested to find more information, so you can use of these sources. So hope you have gained an idea about the test automation in DevOps. So this is the end of today's tech talk. Thank you very much.